So good evening, welcome everybody again to week 8 of Smai Tawi Kinetic Yoga, and we're going to start as we mean to carry on. So if you'd like to just take a starting posture of Ua Capri, laying on your back, feet about 2 foot apart, arms about a foot away from the side body, palms facing up if that's comfortable for you. And just give the body a few moments just to align to the support of the floor. And as you do that, I'm just going to do a short invocation by way of a little prayer as we come to Smai Tawi practice. So I just want to acknowledge the great forces and powers that we know as Neteru, forces of nature, forces of consciousness. And in particular, I want to call forward those with whom I have strong affinity: Heru, Sekhmet, and Aset, all three who have shown me favour and shown me their face in different ways at different times. I call you forward into this practice, for you to hold this practice and hold each one in this session in their journey of Smai Tawi. So let it be said, so let it be done. So as you lay there in Ua Capri, we're just going to move towards 9 purification breaths. So we breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. We meet the pause at the end of the in-breath, just for a moment. We open the mouth and we release the breath. We meet the pause at the end of the breath, close the mouth, and then breathe in again, nice and deep. Meet the pause, open the mouth and release. Close the mouth, inhaling nice and deep. Meet the pause, open the mouth and release. Meet the pause, close the mouth, inhaling through the nose, and we're doing this in Ua Capri as we lay down on the floor. Breathing in nice and deeply, meeting the pause, opening the mouth and release. Meeting the pause at the end of the exhalation, closing the mouth, inhaling through the nose, slow and deep. All this is done as we're laid down on the floor, feet about 2 foot apart, arms to the side body about a foot away. Meet the pause at the end of the inhalation, open the mouth and release. Meet the pause, closing the mouth, inhaling through the nose. Meet the pause, open the mouth and release. Pause in, inhaling through the nose. Meet the pause, open the mouth and release. And as we're doing these purification breaths, we can have a sense of letting go of whatever we brought here to the practice from the day. Inhaling through the nose, nice and deep. Meet the pause, open the mouth and release. Meet the pause, close the mouth. One more nice deep inhalation. Meet the pause, open the mouth, release. Meet the pause, closing the mouth and turning to inhaling through the nose, out through the nose, but still a 4 parts breath. So you meet the pause at the end of the inhalation, you meet the pause at the end of the exhalation. Just allowing everything to settle, having completed the purification breath. And taking this moment to arrive fully to your Smai Tawi practice. Feeling the breath, feeling its animating principle. Breath, Sekhem, life force energy, Chi, prana, other words for the same thing. And then slide in one heel to bring the foot flat on the floor, knee pointing up, and then the other. Bringing the hands in, placing them palms face down, lifting the buttocks, placing them under the buttocks. And then raising both legs one at a time or both together so they're upright. Lift the head off the floor and then use the weight of the legs to pivot you up. Lovely. Coming into the first posture of cross legs. And we can just bring the left fist just below the sternum, right fist on top. Come back to the breath, 4 parts. Nephratem, which is the young Heru, seated on the lotus. And this is also a good point just to be clear on your intention for your Smai Tawi practice this evening. And also feeling free to join me in 3 hekaus of Ankh, vibrating the hekau, word of power, from the belly all the way up through the central axis and out through the crown. Breathing in. Ankh. Breathing in. Ankh. Breathing in. Noticing how the breath is subtle and doesn't come back immediately. Relaxing the hands. And whichever way works for you, folding the legs, one hand to the floor, other hand to the floor, and coming up onto your feet. Come into first standing posture of open makut, so the heels together, feet are out about 30-degree angle, making the pyramid a makut shape. And again, we're going to invoke the quality of Ankh, the life force, through our first movement. So it's kind of like gathering in Sakem from the environment around us, the natural environment. So as we inhale, so 2 parts inhale, inhaling, raising the arms up, palms faced up. Pause for a moment as they get to a T shape, and then continue inhaling, bringing the arms all the way up, fingertips touch, so you make it like a circle, and then we exhale, turn the palms out and down as the arms come down. Nice and slow. Inhaling again. Exhale. Feel long through the body. Inhaling again. And exhale. And just relaxing for a moment there. Lowering the chin to the chest. And beginning very slow rotations, whichever direction felt natural for you. Inhaling as the head moves up. Rotates to the back, exhaling as the head rolls down, chin moving back towards the chest. And we'll do 6 rotations in one direction, 6 rotations in the other, finishing with the chin on the chest. As we transition from one direction to the other, and as we finish the second direction, we finish with the chin on the chest. So taking your time with this, feeling out all the little crinkles, crackles. Feeling strong in your standing posture, feet well grounded on the floor. Lengthened up through the central channel or central axis. And with the chin on the chest, having completed all 6 rotations, 1 in one direction, 6 in the other, just begin to weave the head from side to side. Chin stays on the chest for a few gentle weaves, and then slowly lifting the chin away from the chest, still making the weaving motion left to right, right to left, raising the head up until we get a sense that it's upright. Then just let the weaving motion turn into a little wobble until it finds its still point on its axis. And we'll just do 3 shoulder rotations, raising the shoulders up towards the ears, opening the chest, closing the shoulder blades, rolling them back down the body, rounding as they come up, opening as they go down, rounding as they come up, opening as they go down, and the other way, closing shoulder blades as they come up, rounding as they go down. 3 in both directions. And then relax. Shoulders down. And as we're standing here, we move into stationary car pose, Sanyuat, raising the arms up into car. So nice right angles. And then we're going to reach the right hand over towards the left, so the left hand can take hold of the right. And at that point then, we keep pulling and leaning over to the left. Nice lateral body stretch on the right side. And then we release and we come up back to the righted position. Then reach the left hand over towards the right. Right hand takes hold of the left. And we lean to the right, opening up the left side. And release, coming back to center. Right to left. Lean, back to center. Left to right. Lean, back to center, right to left. Lean in and back to center. One more either side, left to right. Back to center, right to left. Back to center, and a left to right. And back to center. And turn the palms out to the sides and float the arms down. Bringing the hands to the waist. And we do a very gentle forward fold. Like we're taking a bow, we come up, back to center, then a little back bend, bend the knees, tilt the head back, come back to center, fall forward, come up, bend the knees, tilt back, come up, fall forward, come up, bend the knees, tilt the head back, and then come up to center. Release the hands. Transition car. So remember, we just place the weight into the right and then maybe into the left as we inhale, raising the arms up, stepping out with the left, stepping out with the right, and floating the arms down to a wider Makut stance. And from this place here, we're just going to start to making sure there's nothing behind you, as I just did. And as always, I just need to say now, take supreme care of yourself. Only go as far as is comfortable for you in all that you do and everything that you were invited to do. Okay? So we just start to a gentle rotation, let the arms swing. A more stricter version of this, if you like, would be to have the arms out like we do for Selket. and move that way. But I kind of like this way too. So as we turn around, as we turn, look over the shoulder, look behind you. And we're going to transition to casting the net. So next time you pivot to the left, bring both hands round, look behind you, keep the torso up, bring the fingertips to the thumb tip, and then as we come back round, we release the net and go all the way round, clasp the net, come, release, and release, and release. Clasp behind you, release in front of you, and about just above the crown of the head is where you want the arms, the hands releasing at. Just let the breath be natural. And then we transition from casting the net to recovering the net. Rotate round to the left, bring the left hand into the hip, right hand reaches across the body, and then we bring all the fingertips and the thumb tip together again. And as we rotate to the right, right hand draws in, left hand reaches out. Little bend and bounce in the knees, warming the knees up too. So be mindful that you're not bending over. So you want the torso up nice and straight. Get as much of a twist in the body as we can. And gentle bounce in the knees. And coming back in. And we'll transition into car. Stationary car, just here for a moment. Exhale, lower the arms down. I'm going to spend a moment. Salutations to Geb, which is earth, and also to, well, the sky is sometimes also referred to as Shu. So we inhale, raising the arms up. Exhale, swinging through. Bending the knees, swing through. Inhale, come up, open. Bend the knees, little back bend. Exhale, swing through. Inhale, come up, open. Exhale, swing through. Inhale, come up, open. Swing through. Inhale, open. Nice and easy. And on the last one, swing through, come up, arms to car. Exhale, lowering down. And just take a moment to relax. We'll just use the transition car movement again to come into the closed foot stance. So we inhale and bring the feet in. We'll also just do a little rotation around the ankle. So putting one foot just slightly forward, rotating over the toes, which is also bringing a rotation in the ankle and the knee all the way up to the hip. And then in the opposite direction, which sometimes feel really awkward. And come back into Makut stance. And then step in the other foot slightly forward. Rotating over the toes. And the other direction again. And back into Makut. And just for a moment, we'll just move into a Sa's pillar or Jed. So making Kemetic fists, closing the digits of the fingers, bringing the left hand towards the top of the right breast, right hand across that, a little crook in the wrists, and just feeling into this very powerful standing pose. So feel equal weight across both feet, feeling both the balls of the big toes, the heels, the outer edges and the inner edges of the feet. Get a sense of equal weight, relax the buttocks, and also have a sense of levity up through the torso and out through the crown. So just remembering that very often the depiction in this Sanuat posture is a flail and a crook, representing self-discipline and self-mastery in the art of Smai Tawi. So in this posture, we're acknowledging our steadfastness through self-discipline and self-mastery. Our steadfastness towards moving to recognizing the fullness of our being as embodied consciousness. It's quite a noble feeling pose. If you're having a sense of feeling quite dignified and noble, then you know you're embodying this posture well. And then just releasing the arms down, release the hands. Transition once more time into wide leg stance through the moving car, lifting up, stepping out, exhale, coming down. And we're going to move straight into our first of the standing sequences, Nukpu Nun. I am the primordial ocean. So we inhale, raise the arms up like we do for Ankh, but this time the palms come together in Sema. And as we exhale, we're coming down into a squat or as far as is comfortable for you. If you are able to get down into a good squat, sink the bottom, lengthen through the spine. Remember, as we move up on an inhale, we release the Sema and by fingertip, and creating the mudra of Mukut before the hands actually come apart completely, representing movement into multiplicity. So, slow inhaling, coming up, pushing through the feet, fingertips, Mukut, we're almost up, open into multiplicity, fingertips pointing backwards, bend the knees, gentle back bend as far as is comfortable for you. And then we're exhaling and we're coming back down. We make Mukut first, then the fingertips come back together as we're coming back down. Nukpu Nun. Take a breath here. Lengthen through the spine. Even if your squat is here, still lengthen through the spine. And slow inhalation coming up. Gentle back bend, hips forward, bend the knees, head back, and exhaling, coming back down. Nukpu Nun. I am the primordial ocean. Take a breath. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, coming down. Take a breath. Inhaling, Nukpu Nun, coming up. Exhaling, coming down. We won't take a breath in between now. We'll come down, settle, and then inhale, come back up. Exhale, come down. And again, inhale, come straight back up. Exhale, coming down. Pause for a moment. Take a breath. Turn your mudra from Sema into lotus. So tips of the little finger and thumb stay together. Other fingers open up wide. And as we inhale, we come up. Arms come together, then they separate. Coming out like they do for Ka. Palms facing up. Inhale, push up onto the toes, separating heaven and earth. Exhale, lowering back down to flat feet, bending the knees. Nukpu Shu, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. Lifting up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more inhale. Try and stay up for a little while. So breathe in, staying on the toes, working the ankles. And exhale, come down, turn the hands out, release them down like you do from Ka. And now we just turn the feet forwards. So they were out at an angle. Now they're pointing forwards as we transition and move through to Nukpu Asar, or Aset, as the throne. So we're actually moving as the throne. We're becoming the throne, and we're also taking the throne. Our own individuated consciousness and our sovereignty as Asar, or as Aset. So again, inhaling, and as we inhale, we sit down like we're sitting onto a chair or becoming the chair. Arms raise up, shoulder height. And then as we exhale, we push back through, arms come down past the thighs. We go on to the toes and extend the wrists. We inhale, we come back down to the throne. Exhale, coming up, extend the wrists onto the toes. Inhale, flat feet, extend the arms out. Exhale, toes. Inhale, throne. Exhale, toes. Inhale, throne. Exhale, onto the toes. Inhale, throne. 1 more. Exhale, up onto the toes. Inhale, coming into the throne, and hold. To breathe here for a moment. Lengthen through the back, nice long back. Exhale, just pushing up, and relaxing there. But taking a transition through Ka, coming back to closed Makut. Inhaling, stepping in, exhale. Turn, move the arms, turn the palms to face forward, move them out to the sides, little bend in the elbows. And we're resting in Selket. Come into the 4 parts breath. Taking 9, full breaths, 4 parts meeting the end of the inhalation, the end of the exhalation. When you've done your 9 breaths, just allow the arms to come down to rest of the side body. Feel into the length of the body, standing tall, as we transition now into the 3rd triad or trinity of movements, the Asset series. First beginning with Asset, taking flight. So we inhale, raising the arms up, the palms are facing down with this one. So the backs of the hands come together above the head, lengthen through the spine, feel nice and tall and long. And then as we exhale, bringing the arms down, we come up onto the toes, trying to keep the heels together. Hands to the midpoint. And then as we inhale, we bend the knees, lower the feet back down, arms coming up. And as we're about to connect above the head, we lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the torso, and then we're exhaling, rising up onto the toes. Then we're inhaling, coming down onto the feet, bending the knees, then lengthen up. The set takes flight. It's as though on the exhale, the breath becomes the air under which the wings or the arms lift the body. And then as we inhale, we're soaring, lengthening. And we exhale, lift into flight. Inhale, soaring, lengthening. Exhale. And this wants to feel graceful and easeful. And of course, there's a lot going on from the ankles, the toes, the shoulders, the arms, the torso, Nukpu, Set, hip. Asset takes flight, and then we'll move into a Set's embrace. For now, just gently flowing with this. Beautiful. And then last one, just allow the arms to float down, staying on the flat feet. But as the arms come down, they come to the center. One hand is slightly higher than the other. We're still in closed makut as we move into a set hip. A set's embrace of Asa. So we inhale, we open the arms up, we tilt the head back, really lift the chest, heart of compassion. And then as we close, we're bending the knees, trying to keep the legs together, wrapping one arm underneath, one arm to the shoulder, bringing the chin to the chest, and then we open, coming up through the knees, lengthening the legs, opening the chest, heart of compassion, tilting the head back, and then we exhale, opposite hand now goes to the shoulder, the other hand goes underneath. To help you remember that, just hold on to the sensation you feel in the shoulder that's held. And then that way the hand should go to the opposite shoulder each time. Opening, heart of compassion. Closing with the embrace. Bending the knees, keeping the legs together, back long and straight. Open. And close. Chin to the chest as you come to the closed position. Chin up, head back as you open the heart of compassion. One more. Open. And float the arms down. Take a breath for a moment. Slow, concise, focused movements combined with the breath. We still get a little bit of a workout. We're moving Sekhem round the body. We'll be becoming enlivened with this. As an extra bonus, I invited Heru, Sekhmet and Aset to hold us in tonight's practice. So now we move to the third of this trinity of movements. So the spirit returns to Asar. So for this, as we come up into Ka, we also come up onto the toes. So we inhale, moving into Ka, onto the toes, turn the hands out, exhale, control, control, down onto flat feet. Inhale, control, coming up, hold for a moment, and exhale, coming down onto flat feet. Inhale, coming up. So this is different to a set text flight, because we inhale as we come up on this flight, whereas we was exhaling as we came up with a set text flight. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, land, flat feet, bend knees, as we, as Ka, return to Asar. Inhale, coming up, pause, exhale, control, coming down. Inhale, coming up, Ka, pause, exhale, control, coming down. Not surprising, there are a lot of movements with the arms as kind of wings, as many of the Netaru are bird-headed. Horus is the falcon, there's the ibis, Thoth. A Set has wings, Sekhmet sometimes also. And last one, calming down. Lengthen. Open the arms, palms facing forward, a little bend in the elbows. Again, come to your breath, 4 parts, 9 breaths. So this again is an integration. So we integrate our movements. So we're coming back to the 4 parts breath. allowing an integration period between each of the trinity of movements for just the breath to settle, but also for the sekhem also to settle in its movement throughout the body. And once you've completed your 9 4-part breaths, you can release the hands down to the side body. As we move into we'll probably only have a chance to do one of each of these trinity of movements. And next week we'll spend less time on the warm-up and get straight into the flow of practice. So Heru is basically purveying his kingdom. So we bring our kemetic fists on. We're still in the same Mukut posture. Bring the kemetic fists. Inhale. As we inhale, we're transferring the weight into the right leg, lifting the left. Stepping forward as we start to exhale. Heels, then toes, which brings us up into an upright posture. The legs are nice and straight. The back leg, the heel can spin in a little bit, making the foot spin out a little bit. We keep the hips nice and straight. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to rotate to the right. And as we do so, we open the arms up to shoulder length, palms facing in the direction that the torso faces. So inhale, head's also on center. And then exhale, look over the back arm, which is your right arm. Really turn the head to look over the shoulder. Inhale, bring the head back to center. Exhale, turn the head to look over the front arm, which is your left arm. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, rotate round, keeping the arms as they are. Inhale, lengthen through the torso. And then as we exhale, we hinge at the hips. We're going to keep a long back. As we slowly exhale, bring the hands down, either to rest on the shin, left hand rests on the shin. If you can, if your hands will touch the floor, fingertips to the floor, that's brilliant. If the hands rest on the shin, that's fine. And then we're going to shift the back hip backwards, well actually the whole girdle backwards, as we inhale and slide the right hand up the left arm, across the chest to open up. And we turn our head to look up to the right hand. And then we exhale, we just float that long arm down, all the way down, coming back to the left hand resting on the shin. And then we inhale, we open the arms again. We exhale, we raise the torso. We inhale the back heel off the floor. We exhale, we step back, bring the arms down to the side. Wonderful. Inhaling again, transferring the weight into the left leg. Starting to exhale, heel, lifting the right foot forward, heel, toes, come upright, lengthen through the legs, nice and straight. Maybe let the left back foot turn out a little. Inhale, rotating to the left, arms come up to shoulder height, palms facing the same direction as the torso. Exhale, looking over the back arm, which is now your left arm. Inhale, head to center. Exhale, looking over the right arm, which is now your front arm. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right, turn right. Exhale, rotating round. Inhale, lengthen through the body, reach out through the hands. Exhaling, hinge. Arms float down, either to rest on the shin. This time the right hand rests on the right shin. Shift the hip back. Inhaling, sliding the left hand up the right arm across the chest. Opening it up, turning to look up at the left. And then exhale, float that long arm down. Going back to rest with the right arm. Inhale, open both arms, palms facing down. Exhale, raise the torso. Inhale, lift the back heel. Exhale, step back, bring the arms into the side. Wonderful. Now, almost one of my favourites. Well, actually one of my favourites, to be honest. So, Heru Ampu. So, this is when Heru realises that he needs to offer his individuated sense of consciousness to the fullness of what he is, which is ever-present, all-present, pure conscious presence. And he returns his heart and receives the purified heart. So inhale, raising the arms up. Again, this time the palms stay facing down because the backs of the hands come together. And then as we exhale, we just bend the elbows, bring in that shape down towards the head, but then we have to unfold the hands and they come into Lotus Mudra at the center of the chest. Wonderful. So we inhale, we transfer the weight into the right leg again, lifting up the left. Exhale, try and step a little bit further forward, drive with the right knee, heel, toes, and reach the hands out at chest height. Then we're going to inhale, and as we inhale, we're going to rotate, keeping this posture. We're going to rotate to the right, bringing the right arm back into a fist, bringing the left hand to the chest. The right arm is at a right angle. You're still looking over the left shoulder, which is facing forward. Then we exhale, we rotate back round, back into that hand position. We inhale, we receive, so we inhale, we lift the back heel, and as we exhale, we step back and receive the heart back into ourselves. Hands come down, back to the hands together again, and then we inhale, raising the arms up again, once again back to the hands together. Exhale, rotating round, coming down to opening to the Lotus Mudra. Inhale, weight this time into the left leg, lifting the right. Exhaling, stepping forward, heels, toes, reaching the arms forward. Inhale, this time we rotate into the left. Left hand comes up behind us at a right angle. Right hand comes to the chest. We keep looking over the right shoulder, facing forward. And we exhale, rotate back round. Hands come back together. Inhale, the back heel up. Exhale, folding back in, stepping back into Makut. And just come to rest there. Normally we'd do a number, we'd go through a number of reps, left to right, left to right. So, just transitioning again through car to wide leg stance. So inhaling, bringing the arms up to car, stepping out, exhale the arms down. And then once again we inhale with a wide leg stance, keeping in this stance, but we're just inhaling, raising the arms up to car. Inhale to there. And then with an exhale, we let the back arm come back behind us, and it's kind of then starts to swoop or scoop forwards. As that's scooping forwards, the right arm goes back. And we start to make a kind of like a backstroke movement, but we want to keep the palms facing each other. And the palm comes over the top of the head as it's moving back. And you can let your hips get into this. It can be nice and slow. Ras, orbit. So as one hand is at 12 o'clock, the other hand is at 6. As one's at 3, the other hand is at 9. So that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve complete harmony and balance between the positions of the two hands as they rotate over the head, symbolizing the movement of Ra, sun god, through the underworld, which is behind us and below us, and rising into our world, if you like, as the sun. perilous journey in the underworld. Ra's orbit. And then just keep the left hand by the side, take the right hand back and let that come also down by the side. Transition back into closed Mukut through Ka. Beautiful. And we'll just finish moving into a Set's victory pose, which is again a beautiful pose. So closing the fist, Mukut Heru, so Kemetic fists. Inhaling, transferring the weight into the right leg, lifting the left. We don't step too far forward this time. Exhaling, stepping the heel, and then the toes, lengthen. And then as we inhale, we lower down the right knee, staying on the foot of the left foot. Toes can be just in front or in line with the right knee. The back toes of the right foot are curled underneath, so you're on the toes. Inhale, raise the arms up. Lengthen through the spine. You will have seen this image, it's iconic. So this is a Set's victory pose. Take a few breaths here. And release the arms down. Just shift the weight forward, bring your hands to the floor. Bring the other leg down to kneeling. Cross the ankles behind you. Roll over the ankles. Long legs. And again, just find your way down into Ua Kepri. Feet about 2 feet apart. Arms about a foot away from the sides, palms facing up. And relax to the floor. You might find that more of you is actually in contact with the floor than when you first took this posture. And again, this is a time for full integration. So come to your 4 parts breath. Inhaling through the nose, meeting the pause. Exhaling through the nose, meeting the pause. Until the breath finds a good, natural rhythm, pace and depth. And then relax any control over the breath and just be with the breath. Feeling sensation, noticing the flow of Sekhem, vital life force and energy. As both the physical body and your energy body integrate this practice. And also the subtle body, distinction being, the subtle body is your thoughts and emotions. The energy body are the various different energy fields that come from the body and are emitted around the body. This energy body is heavily influenced by Sekhem, as is the subtle body. But we worked on the subtle body through embodying the postures of the Neteru. We worked on the energy body through the movement of the body into the postures of the Neteru. And of course, there are the obvious physical benefits of strengthening, conditioning, lengthening the whole body. And that is the full set There are variations on all of the senyuats, the postures. And there are also many more. They also include the floor, but just like classical Indian yoga, we can learn many variations of a theme. So I'm going to close the practice. We are at 2 minutes past the hour. You're welcome to stay as you are, and I'll close the practice, I'll close the room, and in your own time find your way up into a seated posture, but don't just get up and go straight to the next thing, but rather come up, sit for a moment, gather yourself completely, and then move on. But by way of closing, I just want to honour and give thanks to all the supportive forces that have supported you in attending and participating this evening. I want to give thanks and honour the Netaru, in particularly Heru, Sekhmet and Aset, whom I have a strong affinity with these Netaru. So I give thanks and acknowledgement to them for supporting this practice this evening. And of course, to the great mystery of life that may have many names, we acknowledge and give thanks to that, the source of all things. May our practice together this evening be for the highest benefit of all beings, human and other than human. May all beings be well, may all beings know peace. Ankh, Ujab, Saneb, Hetep, Hetep, Hetep. Peace, peace.